All right, today we are going to talk about a business strategy that can totally change the way you think about selling. It's all built around one single, powerful, big idea. And it all starts with figuring out how to stop selling, well, hot dogs.
So let's just kick things off with that question. Are you selling hot dogs? And no, I don't mean literally, of course. This is a metaphor for a trap that honestly countless entrepreneurs and business owners fall right into and they don't even see it happening. So today we're going to unpack what that trap is and more importantly, how you can get out of it.
Okay, so first things first, let's define what this hot dog trap actually is. It's a problem that's so common it can feel invisible, but trust me, just being able to see it is the first giant leap toward a much better way of doing things.
Let me tell you a story. This is Jeff Calababa. Back in 2000, he got a license to sell public access defibrillators in Canada. And he thought, this is it. It's a brand new, life-saving device. This is going to be an absolute goldmine for my company. But boy, was he in for a surprise.
See, Jeff pretty quickly found out he had tons of competitors, all selling different brands. And the prices? They'd already been slashed by 50%. All of a sudden, his incredible life-saving device was just another box. This right here is the perfect definition of the hot dog trap. It's what happens when your amazing product or service becomes a commodity. Your customers can't really tell the difference, so what do? They just buy the cheapest one. You're stuck competing on price and only price.
And living in this trap, it's just awful. I mean, think about a real hot dog stand. The profit margins are tiny. You're working your tail off for next to nothing. The competition is just relentless. All your unique skills and talents get totally lost in the noise. And you know what? It's just plain boring. It's unfulfilling. You're just another stand on a street that's already packed with them.
But here's the good news. Jeff didn't stay stuck in that trap. He found a way out. And it wasn't by trying to sell a better, cheaper hot dog. No way. He created something completely different. He escaped by developing a big idea. This was Jeff's big aha moment. He realized he had to stop focusing on the product, that defibrillator in a box, and start selling a complete solution. He knew he had to offer something that was new, better, and just fundamentally different from what everybody else was doing. And this was his big idea. He gave it a name, the Heart Save Awareness Program. Just notice that shift in the language. He wasn't selling a thing anymore, he was selling a program. He zeroed in on municipalities, who needed a lot more than just the devices. They needed a way to promote them and teach people how to use them. And his program gave them the exact coaching and resources they needed for that. And the result? It was absolutely staggering. In just 6 months, Jeff's company outsold all of his major competition combined. That is the incredible power of shifting from selling a commodity to selling a big idea. He didn't just sell more, he completely dominated the entire market.
So, how in the world did he pull this off? Well, the mechanics behind this strategy are actually beautifully simple. It all comes down to a really powerful psychological idea, giving your customer a choice. The whole approach is just genius. When Jeff would go meet with a potential client, like a municipality, he'd lay it out like this. You've got 2 choices. The first, the basic choice, was just buying the defibrillators, the hot dog, which he'd admit they could get from pretty much anyone. The second choice, the advanced choice, was his totally unique Heart Save Awareness Program, which they could only get from him. Let's just put these side by side because the difference is so clear. When you're selling a hot dog, you've got a commodity. All the focus is on price, your margins are razor thin, and competition is everywhere. But when you sell a big idea, you're selling a unique program. The focus immediately shifts to value. Your margins are fantastic, and all of a sudden, you have zero competition.
And you know the absolute best part of this? There's literally no downside. Your big idea is so new, so interesting, that it gets your foot in the door. It makes you stand out from the crowd. And even if a customer ultimately decides, you know what, we just want the basic option, the hot dog, you're still way more likely to get that sale than you were before because you were the one who controlled the conversation. Okay, so this all sounds amazing in theory, right? But how do you actually create one for your own business? Let's break it down. Let's look at the blueprint for building your very own big idea.
Now, before you panic and think you have to reinvent your entire business from the ground up, listen to this. This is the most important part. Your big idea is almost certainly 95% of the work and expertise you already have. The real magic is in that last 5%. It's all about the packaging, the framing, and the focus.
So, the whole process really just boils down to 4 key steps. Step 1,
Focus on just one single type of customer that you really truly want to serve. Step 2. Figure out what that customer really wants. I'm not talking about what you sell, but the ultimate outcome they are dreaming of. Step 3. Package all your expertise into a step-by-step gourmet program that delivers that outcome. And finally, Step 4. Give that amazing program a compelling brand name.
But, what's the biggest obstacle in this whole process? It's not the work, it's the mindset. The hardest part by far is getting past your own ego. It means you have to stop focusing on yourself, on your products, on your services, and start truly, deeply putting yourself in your customer's shoes to understand what it is they need most.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. Okay, sure, this worked for a defibrillator guy, but what about my business? Will it work for me? The answer is a huge, resounding yes. Let's take a look at how this applies across totally different industries. This principle is universal because, remember, it's not about the product, it's about the packaging. It doesn't matter if you're a designer, an IT consultant, a counselor, or a financial advisor. The strategy of framing what you do as a unique, branded solution is always going to be more powerful than just selling a generic service.
Check out these real-world examples. An interior designer stops selling design services and starts selling the Office Alive solution for happier, more productive workspaces. An IT consultant stops selling boring tech support and starts selling the Freedom Factory. How about a financial advisor for famous clients? They create the Celebrity Bubble Wrap program to protect their clients' money. I mean, each one is just a genius reframing of what they already do. You see the pattern here, right? The common thread is that fundamental strategic shift. Every single one of them stopped being a commodity. They stopped playing the game of competing on price. Instead, they identified a very specific customer with a very specific problem and created a branded, tangible program to solve it. And in doing that, they created a category of one.
And that really brings us to the final and definitely the most important question. This is a challenge for you. Just stop for a second and think about your own business. You already have the skills. You already provide incredible value. You just need to package it. So I'll leave you with this to think about. What's your big idea?